Hi, welcome back. This is Brad Addo, aka your Super Duper Demi Shake, and once again, thank you for joining the Quran Only channel, where we try to educate people to stay away from the Hadiths and, excuse me, grow with the Quran only. So today, I'm talking about a subject that many have asked questions about, and forgive me for just getting to the subject, and I'm actually going to just touch on it. I'm going to talk about today how to glorify Allah in your prayers. Because now that we're Quran only, we've been used to that Hadith tradition, where it's just we do certain rituals and we do them over and over again, and we're barely reciting the Quran. So these are one of the things that I do that glorifies Allah in the Quran, and you will see it now that you're Quran only. If you haven't already saw it, most of you probably have already saw it already. But this is how Allah glorifies, how He glorifies Himself in the Quran is how you should glorify Allah. He's telling you in almost every page, if not every page, every other page throughout the whole Quran. This is the consistent thing throughout the whole Quran. Notice how when he's ending ayats and verses and even surahs, how does he end them? Just out of the blue, it'll just say, "And indeed, your Lord is most merciful, all knowing, and indeed, Allah is most wise." It'll say, and and in verily, your Lord is exhausted in power and might. Those are some things. Those are ways how you should glorify Allah in your prayer. He's saying that because there are ayats that says how to pray. Tells you how to pray, and it tells you to say glorify your Lord. So one of the things that you say in your salah, doesn't matter if you're bowing, prostrating, or standing still. You say glory be to Allah, um, the most merciful, the most appreciative. Glory be to Allah, free of all needs, the praiseworthy. Glory be to Allah, the exhausted in might and wise. Glory be to Allah, exhausted in power. Glory be to Allah, the Most High, the Grand. Those are ways of how you praise Allah in your prayer. Okay, that's one of the ways I praise Allah in my prayer, and I'm actually saying that and while I'm standing, bowing, and prostrating. So those are some ways you can praise Allah. Of course, you still reciting any part of the Quran you want. You don't even have to recite whole surahs. Just recite whatever you can remember. Okay, that's one of the rituals. I mean, if you don't know the whole surah, recite what you know. Okay, Allah knows what you know. He's the one that's giving you the memory to memorize the surahs, the chapters. So, I mean, let's just be real. This is how it all works out. Allah is the one who guides. Allah is the one who makes us remember. So, don't belittle yourself, okay? But those are some ways you glorify Allah. So now when you start reading the Quran and you start reading it, and at the end of that verse, when it finishes up, it'll say, indeed Allah is all knowing, all wise. He's giving you His names. How He's glorifying Himself is the way you should glorify Him. Because He said, those who know, they glorify Him in a special way. We'll glorify the one the way He glorifies Himself in the Quran. Because Allah exalts Himself. Because He is the Most High, the Grand. Allah said He bears witness. Said, He bear witness to His own self. So I hope this helped. These are just some quick tips. Because important, because a lot of people want to know, well, how do I pray now? Because I'm Quran only, and I'm used to these rituals, and just glorify Allah, okay? And He also tells you prayers to say in the Quran. There's prayers all throughout, like the Prophet's prayers, okay? The 40-year-old prayer. Believe it or not, I am 40 years old. And one of the prayers that I identified only when I was 40 years old was the 40-year-old prayer, okay? And that's when I became Quran only, so I started paying more attention to the Quran. And Allah introduced me to the 40-year-old prayer. And it actually said once man, attains full maturity, age 40, He says, let me see, Allah is going to increase my memory in a minute. It says, indeed, my Lord, enable me to be grateful for the favor you bestowed upon me and upon my parents, and to work righteousness that you will approve of, and to make righteous for me my offspring. Indeed, I have repented to you, and indeed, I am of the Muslims. It says, my Lord, enable me to be grateful for the favor you have bestowed upon me and upon my parents, and to work righteousness that you will approve of, and to make righteous for me my offspring. Indeed, I have repented to you, and indeed I am of the Muslims. I don't know what surah that is from, but I'm pretty sure if you just Google 40-year-old prayer in Quran, that's what it'll be. So these are some other things that you can say in your salat. So you probably saying, well, what if I'm not 40? You can say it now. So by the time you're 40, you'll already start doing that. The way I'm looking at that is Allah's giving you a different mission once you attain full maturity. Now He's telling you, to work righteous deeds that He will approve of. So He's telling. So now you got to focus on, well, what are the righteous deeds that Allah would approve of? Well, He'll approve of you feeding the poor. He approves of you, taking care of the orphans. He approves of you spreading the correct wisdom of His religion, in this world, and not spreading corruptions through hadiths and all these other ways. Those are just some of the things. So I'm just giving you some quick pointers. Anytime you see Allah when He says say, or you see the Prophet's prayers, like Abraham prayer. I love Abraham prayers. He said, indeed, my rights, what he says, indeed, my living, my rights to sacrifice, and my dying, I offer you, Allah, Lord and cherisher of the worlds. You can say that, okay? You can say that, okay? It's not just exclusive to Abraham or Solomon or all these messengers. He's telling you, he's showing you the messengers' prayers. She shows you two things. For one, he's showing you the messengers' prayers. For one thing, he's showing you how they pray, so you can mimic that prayer or say that exact prayer in your prayer. And two, whether also he shows you he answers their prayers. Recognize when these prayers are prayed, Allah answers their prayers. Okay, remember Zachariah, whatever his name is the only one with a Z. I got that name all mixed up, and he was like, to me it sounded like it was a venting prayer. He was saying, indeed, my Lord, never have I came to you and gave, I was, saying something crazy in my prayer. I don't know. But anyway, I can't even say. But basically, he ended up asking Allah for, an offspring, because he wanted, his legacy to live on. So but the thing is, when Allah answered his prayer, he acted surprised. He was like, well, how can I have offspring when my wife is buried? But he had just prayed for that. So that kind of let me know it was like a venting prayer. Like, you know how sometimes you just frustrated with life itself, and I'm going to just praise Allah. And so it was like that's the way I took it. It was like a frustrated prayer. He was just like, man, I'm down and out. My hair's gray. And I'm about 80 years old or whatever age he was. And my wife, she can't have kids, man. I just want an offspring, Allah. And guess what? Allah gave it to him. He was like, hold on, Allah, how you gonna give me an offspring and my wife can't even have kids? You see what I'm saying? So it was like a venting prayer. But at the same time, I'm only telling you that because I'm showing you how the messengers prayed and their prayers were answered by Allah. So He gives you two things. So you can use the messengers' prayers in your prayer. Because maybe you may be praying for that. Okay? And if He answers the messengers' prayers, you keep doing what you do, He's going to answer your prayers. How cool is that? Okay, anyway, this was just strictly off the head. Hopefully you all got some wisdom from this. And when I upload this, I'll, put some ayats in the Quran on the description, so it'll, better guide you and so forth. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for keeping this community growing. Inshallah, we're going to do some more wonderful things on this page, okay? Thanks for watching all our videos. As always, Assalamu alaikum. Peace and blessings.